His Excellency Dr. Pradeep Raj Purohit, Indian High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency Diomedes Heraclio Clejon Carles, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Panama, Mr. Hugo Blanco, Resident Representative, UNDP Multi-Country Office, President of the National Council of Indian Culture, Dr. Surjdeo Munguru, other board members, Mrs. Farida Ramkisoon Elias, Pandit Kuldeep Ganga Prasad, and Mrs. Seema Jardine. Also acknowledging Mr. Anthony Ramnarayan, former chair of the Green Fund Committee of Trinidad and Tobago. Other members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the NCIC Executive, students, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, namaste, sitaram, assalamu alaikum, buenos dias. On behalf of the National Council of Indian Culture, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to our observance of the United Nations World Environment Day 2026, celebrated globally with this year's focus on climate action. Today, we gather to commemorate an international observance and to reaffirm our collective responsibility to protect and preserve the only home, planet Earth. This year's theme is particularly significant. The latest scientific research tells us that humanity has now crossed 7 of the 9 planetary boundaries that regulate the stability and resilience of Earth's systems. These boundaries represent the environmental conditions that sustain life on Earth. They include climate stability, biodiversity, freshwater availability, land systems, nutrient cycles, chemical pollution, and ecosystem integrity. The message from science is clear. The health of our planet and the health of humanity are inseparable. Climate action is an environmental imperative, and also it is a social, economic, cultural, and moral responsibility. Today, through this observance and our tree planting exercise, the National Council of Indian Culture is proud to announce that we are commencing our sustainability journey, demonstrating that every organization, every community, and every citizen can contribute meaningfully to a sustainable and more resilient future. To invoke divine blessings upon today's proceedings, I now invite Pandit Kuldeep Ganga Prasad, Director of the National Council of Indian Culture, to deliver the universal prayer. Panditji.
Let us bow heads in prayer. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art Satchidananda. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptations and to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, greed, hatred, anger, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember thee. Let us ever sing thy glories. Let thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in thee forever and ever. I thank you.
Thank you, Panditji. Once again, we extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each of you. The National Council of Indian Culture is honored to host today's observance as part of our commitment to environmental stewardship, sustainability, and community leadership. Indian culture has long recognized the sacred relationship between humanity and nature. Trees, rivers, mountains, animals, and the natural elements have always been revered as manifestations of life. Today, as we plant a variety of trees and strengthen our environmental commitment, we reaffirm those timeless values while embracing modern sustainability principles that support climate resilience, biodiversity conservation, food security, and community well-being. Thank you for joining us in this important initiative. It is now my honor to invite our distinguished cultural leader whose dedication and vision continue to strengthen the work and impact of the National Council of Indian Culture. Under his stewardship, the NCIC continues to champion cultural preservation, education, community engagement, and national development. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Surjdev Mangaru, the President of the National Council of Indian Culture.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. His Excellency Dr. Pradeep Purohit, High Commissioner of India to Trinidad, Ambassador of Panama, Diomedes Heraclio Carles. Did I get that correct? We should give me a round of applause for that. Mr. Hugo Blanco, Resident Representative, UNDP, Multi-Country Office. Professor Ramdhin Ramsamuj, Professor Robotic Engineering, University of Massachusetts, and Principal of Charya Ramsamuj Arya University. Teachers and students of the Saraswati Girls Hindu College, thank you all for coming. Mr. Ramnarayan, a very long-standing friend of mine. Pandit Satyanand Maharaj, and all our viewers on Bhakti TV. Members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Sitaram, Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum, good morning, and Buen Dias. Today, on United Nations World Environment Day, we come together under the global theme, Climate Action, to reaffirm a simple truth. The environment is not something we inherit automatically. It is something we protect, manage, and improve through shared responsibility and consistent action. As President of the National Council of Indian Culture, I offer this message in the spirit of unity, service, and future building, grounded in our heritage and expressed through practical commitment to a sustainable future for all. The United Nations has called this year's World Environment Day to focus on climate action, because the climate challenge is now inseparable from everyday life, health, food security, I beg your pardon, water access, safety from disaster, and well-being of children and the communities. Climate action means more than awareness. It means reducing harmful emissions that drive warming, strengthening resilience against extreme weather, protecting biodiversity and ecosystems, shifting to cleaner, smarter, and more efficient ways of living and working. At the NCIC, we recognize that culture shapes behavior. Identity influences choices, how people eat, how communities use resources, what they value, and how they teach the next generation. Heritage is not only something to celebrate, it is also a living force that can guide sustainable lifestyles. We therefore treat climate action as a cultural responsibility, because when we practice and teach stewardship, sustainability becomes part of daily life. Not always encourage conversation and respect natural resources. 3, sustainable practices in events and institutions. NCIC will promote greener approaches in the way we plan and conduct cultural activities, reduce material waste, and improve reuse where possible, responsible sourcing and responsible disposal, awareness on energy use and water conservation during events. Culture is powerful, so our gathering must also reflect the sustainability we advocate. 4, partnerships with collective action. No single organization can solve the climate challenge alone. NCIC will strengthen collaboration with community groups, educational institutions, and civic stakeholders to support meaningful climate initiatives, especially those that benefit vulnerable communities most affected by environmental stress. The world's climate challenge requires action now, and it requires it across every level: government, business, communities, and households. But the good news is that climate action is achievable when it becomes collective and consistent. Even small steps, repeated widely, can create a large impact. We can choose to conserve water and energy, reduce single-use plastics and unnecessary waste, support cleaner transport and safer walking, cycling options where feasible, participate in community cleanups and restoration efforts, protect mangroves, wetlands, rivers, and green spaces, the lifelines at our island environment. Climate action is not a single event, it is a disciplined pathway. Today, I invite every member of our community to take ownership of the theme climate action, not only through words, but through conduct. Let us ensure that our families, our schools, and our organizations treat environmental stewardship as part of everyday responsibility. Let us ensure that the young people today inherit not only our stories, but also our solutions. As NCIC President, I commit the Council to continuing this work with determination, protecting what sustains us, strengthening what serves our people, and building a future where cultural identity and environmental responsibility move together. In closing, everyone, on this United Nations World Environment Day, let us stand united in climate action, guided by our heritage, strengthened by community collaboration, and focused on the sustainable future we shall share. We all share, I beg your pardon. Let us act with urgency, with discipline, and with hope. I thank you for your attentiveness. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mangru, for not only those inspiring remarks, but very powerful words and the call to action among our community members. Together, we can avert the climate crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the segment of distinguished greetings from our esteemed international guests and partners. Our first distinguished guest joins us on behalf of the United Nations family. The United Nations continues to play a pivotal role in advancing sustainable development, climate resilience, environmental protection, and the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development worldwide. Please join us in welcoming Mr. Hugo Blanco, Resident Representative, United Nations Development Programme Multi-Country Office.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Dr. Mangaru, colleagues, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with the National Council of Indian Culture, and congratulations on this initiative. I think this is a small step in the right direction. As I was preparing for this event, I was reflecting a little bit, and I realized that Indian culture has long recognized something that our modern sustainability societies are kind of rediscovering now, that nature and humanity are one. And sometimes we see nature as something as a resource we, as human beings, we have to consume. And probably that's not the right approach. I don't think this country, this world, this planet can afford much more increased consumption. If every country in the world, even every citizen in China or India or in Africa consume the way I consume, there is not enough resources in this planet. And we have to be very mindful. And I think Indian culture throughout generations has been teaching this love, this respect to rivers, to forests, to animals, that we've been forgetting in so many societies. And I think that's important. And I was so pleased to see the students, because we say that the youth is the future, but the youth is the present. And we are in your hands. And this is particularly relevant now in a world that is threatened by climate change, biodiversity loss, and so many other pressures. We talk about technology as a solution, but humanity has to be at the center of this, if you really need it, if you really want it. And if you buy something that is going to live for some time, make the commitment to give away something else. For instance, if I buy this jacket, I will give another jacket away, so I don't accumulate. This is something that seems obvious, but it's not easy to do. And I'm far from being coherent and being strong enough to follow my own principles. But just reflecting on that, I think is a good exercise, because consumption is key to a lot of the elements Dr. Mangaru has mentioned. Unfortunately, Trinidad and Tobago is the waste that each one of you, each one of us produce per day in this country is way above the average in the Caribbean. Can you make a guess, Dr. Mangaru, how many kilograms per day of waste does an average citizen in Trinidad and Tobago produce?
I would guess not a figure, but plenty.
Plenty. So I'm going to tell you that the average in the Caribbean is about 1.3 kilos per day. In Trinidad and Tobago, we produce about 2.6 kilos per day. So there is a lot to be done in that regard. And I'm very happy to say that this administration, this government, is actively sustainability journey you are starting. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blanco, for those inspiring remarks, as well as, that revelation of the waste consumption in Trinidad. That's double the amount of the average of the Caribbean citizen. So therefore, and this is an appeal, let us be more mindful and considerate of what we consume, and of course, follow the advice of Mr. Blanco. If we were to consider buying something, let's think about giving something away. Our next distinguished speaker represents a nation that has demonstrated strong commitment to environmental sustainability and international cooperation. It is my pleasure to invite His Excellency, Diomedes Heraclio Collis Clejon, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, Republic of Panama, to deliver greetings on behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of Panama. Thank you, Your Excellency.
So happy to see that the generational change is here with us. I would also like to congratulate the NCIC on the launch of its sustainability journey and its commitment to becoming a more environmentally conscious and sustainable organization. This initiative reflects an important understanding that climate change is a shared global challenge and that every organization, community, and individual has a role to play in addressing the growing threats facing our planet. As we gather to reflect on our collective responsibility to our environment, I am proud, as Ambassador of Panama, to share that Panama is one of the only three carbon negative countries in the world, alongside Suriname and Bhutan. Although a relatively small country in size, Panama is recognized internationally for its commitment to environmental conservation and sustainable development. More than half of our territory remains covered by forests, which absorb more carbon dioxide than our countries emits, making a positive contribution to the global fight against climate change. Through policies aimed at protecting biodiversity, preserving vital watersheds, and strengthening climate resilience, Panama has demonstrated that economic progress and environmental stewardship can successfully go hand in hand. This year's observance provides an opportunity to reflect on the environmental challenges facing our world. Climate change, biodiversity, loss, pollution, and the degradation of natural resources are no longer distant concerns. They are realities that affect our economies, our food security, our health, and the well-being of future generations. As countries of the Caribbean and Latin America, we are particularly vulnerable to these challenges. Rising sea levels, stronger storms, changing weather patterns, and increasing pressures on our ecosystems remind us that environmental stewardship is not merely an option, it is a necessity. Panama's commitment to sustainability is also reflected in the operation of the Panama Canal, one of the world's most important maritime routes. The canal depends directly on healthy ecosystems and responsible water management for its operation. In recent years, it has implemented initiatives that encourage greater fuel efficiency and reduce emissions from vessels transiting its waters, while also advancing the electrification of its vehicle fleet. These efforts demonstrate that environmental protection and economic development are not opposing goals. Rather, they are mutually reinforcing and essential for long-term prosperity. Today's event reminds us that environmental awareness must begin at the community level. That means you. Governments can establish example of how organizations can transform commitment into action and inspire others to do the same. The trees planted today will stand as a lasting symbol of environmental stewardship and our shared responsibility to future generations. The future of environmental protection rests in your hands. Your creativity, innovation, and commitment will help shape a more sustainable and resilient world. Your voices matter, and your actions can make a meaningful difference. As we mark World Environmental Day, let us renew our commitment to protecting our natural resources, reducing pollution, preserving biodiversity, and promoting sustainable development. Let us work together across nations, cultures, and generations to ensure that those who come after us inherit a planet that is healthy, vibrant, and capable of sustaining life in all its diversity. On behalf of the Republic of Panama, I thank the National Council of Indian Culture for the invitation to participate in this important celebration and commend its leadership in advancing environmental awareness and sustainability. May today's activities inspire us all to become stronger advocates for environmental protection and more responsible stewards of our shared home. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Two key points that I have noted, and I hope this resonates. Firstly, commendations to the Republic of Panama for earning carbon negative status. And also, you mentioned that it's not just up to the leaders of governments to drive sustainability and climate action. It requires an all-inclusive, all-of-society approach. Each of us, individuals, communities, the private, public sectors, and of course, through the guidance of our government leaders. So thank you again, Your Excellency. India has long embraced principles of environmental stewardship rooted in centuries of culture and spiritual tradition, emphasizing harmony between humanity and nature. It is therefore a great honor to invite His Excellency, Dr. Pradeep Raj Purohit, High Commissioner of India to Trinidad and Tobago, to deliver his greetings and
Mr. Hugo Blanco, the UNDP resident representative in Trinidad and Tobago and multi-country office, office bearers of the National Council of Indian Culture, teachers and students of the Parvati Girls Hindu School, ladies and gentlemen, members of media, it is indeed my honor to join you all this morning on behalf of the High Commission to extend greetings on the occasion of the World Environment Day. This day serves as a powerful reminder that our planet is our shared home and protecting it is our collective responsibility. This year's theme, inspired by nature, for climate, for our future, it perfectly encapsulate the urgency of our time and the timeless wisdom of the civilization of India. Predictable weather patterns and ecological imbalances affect us all. As one of the fastest growing economies in the world, India is acutely aware of its responsibilities. Today, the whole world is facing the delicate challenge of balancing the rapid economic growth with the environmental preservation. We are proving that developmental and economic stewardship need not to be mutually exclusive. Under the visionary leadership of our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, India has taken bold and decisive steps on the global stage, transitioning towards renewable energy and launching initiatives like the International Solar Alliance, the initiative like Coalition for Disaster Resilience Infrastructure, CDRI, the Global Biofuel Alliance, the International Big Cat Alliance, and many others. But addressing the climate crisis requires more than just government policies and international treaties, as the earlier speakers have also highlighted. It requires a fundamental shift in our daily habits. This is why India champions Mission Life, which is lifestyle for environment. It is a global mass movement that puts individuals' behavior at the forefront of climate action. It encourages us to adopt simple, mindful changes in our everyday life, such as reducing waste and avoiding single-use plastic, conserving water and energy, adopting sustainable food systems, choosing eco-friendly modes of transportation, and many more. Launched by Prime Minister Shri Modi ji, and as we reflect on this day, the tree plantation, what we call Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam campaign, encourages citizens to plant a sapling either to honor their living mothers or as a living tribute to their departed ancestors. It connects the nurturing nature of Mother Earth with the love of Mother, inspiring people to plant trees and care for them. When Prime Minister Modi ji visited Trinidad and Tobago last year, he had planted saplings in the premises of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, and that was also under this campaign of Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. Similarly, the government of Trinidad and Tobago continues to implement visionary policies to protect its rich biodiversity, fragile coastal ecosystem, and lush rainforest. Every small conscious choice we make, whether at home or in school or in office, create a ripple effect. By adopting a pro-planet lifestyle, millions of people worldwide can transform individual action into a powerful global shield against climate change. World Environment Day is therefore a call to action for every single one of us, whether it is reducing the plastic pollution or conserving the fresh water or planting trees. Individual actions have a compounding effect on the health of our planet. And therefore, I deeply commend the initiative taken by the NCIC under the leadership of Sri Mangruji for organizing, for celebrating this day. And I see that NCIC over the years have evolved as an umbrella organization, a nucleus for a number of cultural activities, and adding to this dimension of World Environment Day and sustainable practices is indeed appreciable. I urge the communities to lead by example. Let us work together to promote sustainability and green practices. Let us leave behind a legacy of clean, green, and resilient planet for our children and future generations. I invite you all to adopt sustainable living practices and become true guardians of our environment. Once again, thank you so much for making us part of today's celebration. Jai Hind, Jai Trinidad and Tobago. Namaskar.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and thank you for sharing the sustainability initiatives that the Republic of India has been embarking on. And we do hope that, there can be collaborations between us Trinidad and Tobago's National Council of Indian Culture and the government of the Republic of India, especially with regards to the solar reliance. That's something that we will be particularly interested in as part of our sustainability journey to reduce our energy consumption and hence our carbon footprint. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to a very meaningful part of today's observance. The planting of trees is among the most powerful nature-based solutions, as mentioned before by His Excellency Carles. Trees absorb and sequester carbon dioxide. They improve the air quality, they support biodiversity, provide food, enhances resilience to climate impacts, and contribute significantly to healthier communities. Trees also provide that somewhat of a, cooling effect, as well as when you walk outside into a forested space or garden, don't you feel that sense of relief, somewhat like it just removes all of your stress and gives you that level of comfort? Therefore, we will now invite our distinguished guests to proceed to the designated area for the tree planting ceremony. Oh, okay. Before we do that, I will welcome His Excellency Carles to please present Dr. Sergio Mangaru with a kind token.
It's not another speech, so I would like to give this on behalf of the Republic of Panama, and being that today is the World Environment Day, this is a small token. It is an indigenous handcraft.
I was expecting cash.
Oh, well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
It is an indigenous handcraft, handmade, called a mola, and a souvenir from the Panama Canal. That gives you entrance to anywhere, any time that you want to go to the canal.
With airfare?
Everything.
Thank you so much.
Just look at the camera.
The question was asked, what tree is this?
Okay. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude today's observance, let's be reminded that climate action begins with individual actions, achieves its greatest impact through collective effort. Climate action is not just the responsibility of a few, as we've heard from our distinguished and esteemed speakers today, but it is a shared commitment that unites governments, organizations, communities, the individuals in safeguarding our common future. The National Council of Indian Culture is proud to stand with the global community in support of a healthier planet and a more sustainable future. Today's tree planting serves as a living reminder that the choices we make today will shape the world inherited by future generations. As we bring this meaningful observance of United Nations World Environment Day to a close, it is my privilege to extend sincere gratitude on behalf of the National Council of Indian Culture. Firstly, I wish to express our deepest appreciation to our distinguished speakers who honored us with their presence and inspiring messages, and to our guests who valued the significance of this event and chose to be here today. To Mr. Hugo Blanco, Resident Representative of the United Nations Development Programme Multi-Country Office, thank you for sharing the global perspective and reinforcing the importance of collective environmental action. To His Excellency Diomedes Heraclio Carles Clajon, Ambassador of the Republic of Panama, thank you for your words of encouragement and solidarity. To His Excellency Dr. Pradeep Rajpurohit, High Commissioner of India to Trinidad and Tobago, thank you for reminding us of the deep connection between culture, values, and environmental stewardship. I would also like to express heartfelt appreciation to all those who have generously contributed to making today's tree planting initiative possible. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Conservator of Forests, Mr. Amir Rupnarayan Singh, thank you for the contribution of the trees that we have received. And of course, we do have saplings, so we'll be planting those later on. And allow me to also indicate that on Sunday, we are calling all volunteers who wish to come out and support us in the continuation of our tree planting ceremony. Our aim is to plant 108 trees. As you know, 108 is a sacred number in Hinduism. So therefore, we are starting this year planting 108 trees. So we are calling all of you, 10 o'clock, we are assembling here, and we will embark on this journey. Special thanks are also extended to Mr. Vishnu Lachman Singh, we call him Uncle Vish, and Miss Jennifer Jadunanan, Uncle Vish's staff as well, who, I can't remember his name, but all of them who are here. And also, we acknowledge and thank the members of the media for helping to amplify the message of environmental stewardship and climate action throughout our nation. Thank you, Pandit Kuldeep, standing with us as we embark on this sustainability journey. I leave you with this quote: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Thank you, safe travels, and may you enjoy the refreshments that follow.